there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, today we're talking Love and Marriage Huntsville. Like, you guys know why you're here. Even though technically, it's kind of like a bootleg version of Love and Marriage Huntsville, nonetheless, and this also impacts Melody Sri Rogers, because once again, Carlos King just shows more and more, the more that you give him ideas or anything to run with, at some point in time, he's going to use it against you and try to pass it off as his own on the OWN network, you guys, to save himself. And it is clear by this decision and this announcement that they are standing behind Carlos King and possibly Martell Holt as well. And this is the same mistake that they made with Tim, as Tim Norman with Welcome to Sweetie Pies, right? Only for him to be convicted of all those charges, right? And the plot and everything else. So this is a disaster waiting to happen. But my bigger issue with this, before we get into this article, is Carlos King specifically, based off of what I'm seeing in the trailer and the concept of this show, is what Mel's original idea was for Love and Marriage Huntsville. And a lot of people, including Carlos King, was like, nobody's going to tune into a show like that. Nobody wants to see that. They want to see drama. And since Mel had found out, Martell was cheating right before the show was slated to film, Carlos instead completely pivoted and was like, listen, people are going to tune in for mess, for adultery, for cheating, and this is an opportunity for you to be your most authentic self. The audience isn't going to watch a show about black people, black entrepreneurs, and black real estate. What? But you're literally creating a version of that now. Now, all of a sudden, after the success of Mel co-owning a black streaming network that is showcasing black excellence and positive black reality TV and not the ratchet mess, now all of a sudden, you want to put out something that's family-oriented and about successful black business with real people that have legitimate income and legitimate businesses, right? And aren't just filming on empty rocks, right? On rocks and dirt and wearing hard hats for a scene and then going back to an empty office, you guys. But let's get into this article. So it says, from Deadline, it says, OWN orders reality series Family Empire Houston from Carlos King's Kingdom Reign Entertainment sets premiere date. Carlos King is making another show for OWN. The producer who runs Kingdom Reign Entertainment is behind series include the Love and Marriage franchise. He is now making Family Empire Houston for the network. The series follows the multi-generational Braden family of Houston, exploring themes of generational wealth and the building of a family legacy. The 8-part unscripted series follows the Bradens across 4 generations. Sister cousins Nicole, Jermisha, and Jaquita have a collective dream to follow in the footsteps of their grandmother and the Braden family matriarch, Oscarine, a real estate entrepreneur who built the family empire from the ground up. But complications arise for the grandchildren as Oscarine contemplates dissolving the family assets in order to secure the financial futures of her own 5 children, Frank Jr., Charlotte, Cheryl, Nikki, and Jackie. Kingdom Reign Entertainment is already behind Love and Marriage Huntsville, Love and Marriage Detroit, and Love and Marriage DC for the network, as well as Bell Collective. The series will premiere on June 28th. Here at OWN, we are always looking to shine a light on interesting people with stories that are entertaining and who will also reflect our audience, said Tina Perry, president of OWN Family Empire Houston. Promises all of this and more. A dynamic family, vibrant culture, and high-stakes scenarios we know our audience will respond to. Oh, really? Really? Well, guys, black excellence and black entrepreneurship and black wealth and multi-generational wealth was supposed to be the original concept of Love and Marriage Huntsville. It was supposed to revolve around 3 black couples and them building homes, giving back to the black community and making affordable housing for the black community and the comeback group. Having the quote-unquote Core 6 work together on all these projects and on all these building projects and all of the things to really build up Huntsville, Alabama, except for none of that was real. None of that materialized because everyone wanted to get behind Martell cheating on Mel. And everybody completely abandoned
their storylines and everything that they've got going on with their lives. And every time people called out Carlos King about the direction of the show and that people were sick of it and people wanted to see the real lives and the real truths, he said, don't tell him how to run his show. Don't tell him who to fire and hire and all the things. Meanwhile, he must know something. He must know that one of these shows is on the chopping block. He has to know that. Right? Because he couldn't even say when Love and Marriage DC was coming back. So I feel like this is replacing at least one show, for sure. Right? And nonetheless, I feel like this show was presented as a last-ditch effort for Carlos King to save his job, right? Because there was already negativity associated with his shows already, and how they're all paralleling each other in terms of everybody focusing on one person to just make the scapegoat of everything, and everybody to try to piggy behind those storylines, and nobody has to share their truth. And then you add it on with social media and try to, gaslight the fans and ignite stand wars amongst the fans for foolery that doesn't even deserve that type of attention. But I want to say shout out to Candy Burris. She was right. Candy Burris was right when she said that not to trust Carlos King, that Carlos King is going to steal from you and steal your ideas and pass it off as his own. We already had the girl that said that she was responsible initially for Messy Mondays and already had it trademarked and all the things. And here comes, Carlos King and Dr. Heavenly. They're doing that every Monday. And then we have, of course, the concept of Candy she wanted to do a biopic on Escape because she was seeing the success of New Edition and all these other people and what the numbers and everything were pulling in. And part of that was part of the reason that Escape, is now touring and everything else as well, even though without Latasha, but they're still, banding together after seeing the response to the New Edition story, and was thinking at that point in time about also doing an Escape version of a biopic or documentary. And when she communicated that to Carlos King decided he was going to get the ball rolling for himself and try to interview Mama Joyce, Candy's mom, behind her back, and try to pitch this to another network, and basically had this set up to where he was basically putting together his own trailer to show that this could be a success, that this could be a hit, and Candy had to put the kibosh on it. But everything's been so sneaky now. But this is a class action lawsuit. This is if Mel has documented proof that this was the original proposal of what she wanted Love and Marriage Huntsville to be, this show may be, if you blink or miss it, it might be a one-hit wonder, you guys. If Mel has that paperwork that shows that her original proposal to Carlos King was this show. And once Mel said right before filming began, she was, thinking of pulling the plug on the show because of Martel's cheating. Carlos King basically said, full speed ahead, we're going to incorporate the cheating. That is going to allow you to be the most real and the most authentic, knowing daggone well the comeback group was never going to be a thing. And that it was just a smoke screen, and that they were going to tailor the show around all of the drama that surround Martel and Mel and everybody else who is frauds and scammers and liars. They can just sit back and just give commentary like they're a fan and not have to contribute anything real to their lives. But this is very interesting, like I said, the timing, because we've heard nothing but positive reviews about Mel's streaming platform for Nubian and the success of her show Sharnita's World, that again was not ratchet, was not a hot mess, and featured a good black family that was successful, and and it was getting rave reviews. A lot of people were happy with it, and it was appearing on multiple networks. So it got a lot of positive buzz. And I was like, Carlos King is too quiet, and when he's quiet like this, and all these accolades are coming, people's way that he feels is a threat to him, which is the same thing that happened with Candy, which is the same thing that's happening now with Mel. He tries to find a way to undermine it or replicate it, right? So the first approach was to just completely abandon promoting Love and Marriage Huntsville altogether, and just basically saying, hey, I'm Team Bravo. I'm going to do whatever it takes to elevate Bravo and just get all my clicks and views from Bravo celebrities. And, when Love and Marriage Huntsville comes back, I may throw a bone or two, but I'm going to be focusing on my other shows, right? And this is the same foolery that happened with Love and Marriage DC, because Carlos King was so wrapped up in Love and Marriage Detroit that Love and Marriage DC got put on the back burner for nearly a year. Right? So again, it's like, I'm interested to see what you guys think about this. Are you guys going to tune into this show? Or are you still blacking out all things Carlos King, you guys? Again, this show is going to come on Friday nights at the end of June. But again, this whole concept of the show, and it's no shade to the cast, it's no disrespect to the cast, but the concept of this original show was what Mel wanted. Was what Mel presented to Carlos King. And Carlos King said nobody wants to watch this. But now that everybody's dragging these shows of Carlos King's, calling it Love and Hip Hop, calling it Love and Marriage After Lockup, and all these things, and all these people keep getting arrested, now all of a sudden, conveniently, the story drops. Right? After all the bad press that Martell and Destiny is getting, now Carlos King, he's pivoting now to be all about the empire, the Black empire and Black excellence and multi-generational wealth, as if that is not the focus on any of his current shows. Make it make sense. But that's why we're here, to call out the nonsense and to call out the BS and the fakery and the foolery. But Mel has a class action lawsuit. Like I said, as long as she has that original documentation that says, hey, this was the original proposal that I presented to Carlos King, this is the presentation I put together for Carlos King, and all of the things, whether it was at the initial consultation or at a follow-up meeting or at a presentation with OWN executives, whatever the case may be, and she sees this trailer and she sees how these episodes are going to unfold, in which this is what she had a vision for Love and Marriage Huntsville originally to be, about the family unit, about building generational wealth for the family, and how they were going to give back, how they were going to set an example for their children and grandchildren, and all of the things, and show real businesses and show real estate and all of the things, and it completely just fell off the grid. It was nowhere to be found, you guys. Nowhere to be found. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.